Hi everyone, my name is Kathleen Berry and I am an educator with Growing Gardens. How are you today on this beautiful, partially rainy day? I thought this was a perfect project for us to do on this rainy day. So most of you should have gotten a kit that includes this newsletter from Growing Gardens Youth Grow team. And on it are different activities. We have kits that were included with this newsletter and a couple of how-tos and a challenge. And so one of the kits that you should have received was a flower seed ball kit. It's right here. Here's a picture of seed balls that are germinating. And it also explains to you about what is in the kit. It states it's a natural and fun way to spread Willamette Valley pollinator flower seeds in your community. It includes clay. You should have had a bag of clay. It's clay powder, a bag of soil, and a bag of the pollinator seeds from the Pacific Northwest. And those are native seeds. What is a native seed? Well, it grows into a plant that is considered native if it naturally occurred in a particular region, like here in Oregon, an ecosystem or habitat without human introduction. So that's what a native plant is, and that's why we wanted to share these native wildflowers with you. So in your newsletter, it's going to tell you to divide your materials, and we measured them approximately about how much you need for each seed ball. Well, what is a seed ball? The seed ball looks like this. I made some up. And what you do is you throw it and you grow it. And one way that we utilize seed balls to help grow forests in areas that we can't reach is we will put tiny tree seedlings into a seed ball, and we will take them up into an airplane, and we will fly over different areas and drop these into the areas we can't reach by land. And so it helps grow trees. And we use that type of forestation in other countries as well that don't have as many trees. And so this is a very helpful tool. Also, seed balls were used in ancient times. They would take a corn kernel and some mud, some of the Native Americans, and they would roll it up in a ball and then save it for later because these keep really well in a dry, cool place. And these are really good to plant in the spring, summer, or fall. You want to do it in an area that gets good drainage so that uh, it, it's not going to get too wet. But because if you get them too wet, seeds they rot. And also you want it in a place that's has partial sun or full sunshine. It needs at least 6 hours of sunshine in order to get these to grow. Before I show you how to mix the seed balls, I also wanted to mention that last week we started out with a session on the mixed greens kit. So if you got a kit, it included a green pot like this and some soil, and then it contained some mixed green seeds like kale and different lettuces. And once it starts to germinate in about 7 to 10 days, this is what it looks like. So pretty soon it'll get taller and you can cut it and then have a bowl of mixed greens. And if you save them maybe just in time, you'll be able to do the salad dressing challenge and make a delicious salad dressing to go on your mixed greens that you grew. Right, now I'm going to get started. Also, I wanted to show you, once you make your seed ball, you can either put it in a pot of soil. These are small ones, and I watered it in hopes that it'll begin to grow. I want to see what it looks like. And then you can save some to throw and grow wherever you decide. When you're out on a walk and you see somewhere bare that maybe you would like to give it some beautiful wildflowers and color in your community, you can throw them there. So you get to pick where you grow your wildflowers. Right? The first thing that our directions say is to combine the clay and the compost. So I'm going to take the clay powder and I'm going to pour it into the bowl, and I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. So I'm going to pour it into my bowl, and this is a nice powder. Now clay comes from the earth. If you dig far enough down into the ground, you're going to get a much solider, more solid, not solider, but solid mixture of soil, and it's more compacted, and it settles into a clay-like uh, substance. And so this is ground up and dried out clay. So you need your clay powder, and then it asks you to add the soil or compost, same thing. It's a nice soil mixture. And then you're going to add some water. Now this is the tricky part. You want to add a little bit of water at a time, because the first time I did it, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. The first time that I did this to make mine, I added too much water and I had to go back and add more soil. So you're going to have it mixed up like a cookie dough mixture. You're not going to want to eat it though. Look at that. Now, what did I forget? The one thing that you have to add. So these are a little bit wet, and this is where more soil can come into. So you can see that I have a little more water than I needed. This is what happened last time. So make sure you don't add very much water. I'm going to add a little more soil to my mixture. If you have sticks in it, go ahead and throw those out. I'm going to mix it up some more. If it's too wet, it's kind of gooey. It doesn't mix up quite as well. That's almost right. Just a little more soil. These are so much fun to make. And yes, they're messy, but I like messy. Messy's fun. So I'm mixing it up. Oh, there's another little stick. I'm just throwing it into the grass outside. So there we go. I'm getting a nice mixture. Not too wet, not too dry. And I have one more packet. You should have got a packet of seeds here to add. So now I'm going to add these into my mixture. There's little tiny seeds. It's fun to look at all the different shapes of the seeds. Each flower has a different shaped seed. Long, round, thin. Now I'm mixing the seeds in. I want to make sure I get a little bit of seeds in each section. And now I'm going to roll them up. One of the ideas that I had was to take a paper towel and set it aside, because you're going to want them to dry out. Now, if you see here, this is what they look like dry. And I have several of these. So I want you to guess, how many seed balls do you think I'm going to get out of this mixture? So now I want them about the size of a quarter. So I'm going to take my mixture, I'm going to roll it around in my hand. It's just almost like clay. And I'm going to get a small little ball that looks like this. And then I want to set it on my paper towel to dry. Let me move this over for you. And I'm going to do another one. There's one. Let's see how many I get. You can share these with people too after you make them. Give them as a gift. Two. Three. Messy but fun. Now there's areas around where I live, four, and they had to build up a wall to retain it from falling down alongside the road. So they actually planted wildflowers to keep it from falling down. and it beautified it. That is 5. I think this one could be 2 smaller ones. And yeah, just get messy, have fun. 6. And here's the last one. I saw a little seed. I thought maybe I should get that, include that. Don't want to leave out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seed balls. Woohoo! Excellent. So now I'm going to take a little bit of water and rinse my hands off. It rinses off really easily. So it's not going to make too much of a mess. And I have a paper towel to wipe my hands off. So what a great rainy day activity that you can do inside or outside. You can find more of the products online. These wildflower seeds came from Steel Acres, Steele Acres. And you can order yourself a bag. You can look up what kinds of flowers are in there. There's yarrow, there's possibly some coneflower and asters, bachelor buttons. We could have some primroses or some poppies. There's a whole list of things that might be in your wildflower seed packet. And you can order the clay powder online as well. You can also go to your local craft store and purchase some clay powder. So if this is something you might love to do with others in your family, I suggest that you try it. Now I'm going to set all of these outside, warm spot that the sun will get without raining on them to dry out. And when they all finish getting dried out, you will have seed balls that look like this. So I encourage you to go out and spread some flower happiness. And I appreciate you being here today with me to see how we make seed balls. And if you missed this video, I just want to let you know you can go on to our Instagram at Growing Gardens PDX and catch any of our videos that we do in this series of live sessions. Thank you for watching today. Growing Gardens and I are happy to bring you these kits, and we hope to bring you some more in the fall. Have a beautiful day.